Hey everyone, welcome to Dogma 95 International. In today's episode, we're going to do a breakdown of our latest Dogma 95 short film called The Driver's Seat. So first things first, before shooting anything, you need a location. And thanks to Palladino BMW, they gave us their entire store for an entire day where we could just film all our scenes there. So thank you so much to Palladino BMW for allowing us to shoot there. This film obviously couldn't have been done without their help. So it's awesome that you have a community that supports you and supports filmmakers. So great shout out to Palladino BMW. Thanks again. And now we open up in the garage and we realize that our person, Jerry, is nervous salesman. That is seems to not have the most confidence in his abilities. But basically, the approach to this short is capture as many shots as possible with as little take as possible, because we have a lot of dialogue to get through in 2 days, and essentially you shouldn't waste time reshooting the same shot just because of a fumble of a line. So really the approach was 2 cameras shooting at all times and to try to not do the same take. So if we shoot the wide angle on one shot and they're saying our lines and we do the take again, we're not going to do that same angle. And also I have 2 cameras going on. So I always have one camera is on the 24-70 and the other camera is on an 85mm at all times. So you have always 2 camera angles, one tight and one medium or wide, and essentially really try to follow the action and try to add some energy in that way. So my idea was really mimic the style of like a Tony Scott film. I really like the editing that he does as well in a Tony Scott film, but it's essentially that he has so many angles and it adds this sort of energy and dynamism to the film, a certain pacing and rhythm that these angles add a lot. And it's a very freeing as well shooting this way. Again, the beauty of a Dogma 95 film, the fact that you don't have to light, is that now you get to be creative with your angles, because you're never boned by having a C-stand in the way or anything else like that. It's one of the biggest downside to lighting, I guess you could say, is that you're always compromising your angle because you always want the most perfect light for that shot. So it prevents you from getting other angles at times. And where the strong side of a Dogma 95 film is that sure, maybe you can't light and make every shot beautiful, but you're able to get a considerable, significant amount of shots compared to when you're lighting. So that's kind of you have to find the light instead. And in doing so, it allows you to be much freer with your composition and just really cover that scene in ways that you probably wouldn't have if you had to really light it. And it's all preference, right? I'm not saying one is better or the other, but naturally, the Dogma 95 style will naturally give you that sort of energy that sometimes a film that is well lit and elegant is lacking. So I do enjoy that style, and it was very, like I say, freeing to do this where normally I don't operate this way. In this particular scene, I really enjoy one of the things that we did was we shot the entire scene, dialogue, and we're covering it all. And then we went to lunch, and right after lunch, we were supposed to go to another scene. And before that, I said, let's just do one take. And all you guys do is try to do the scene, but without any dialogue. And I had a music track in the background playing just when we were filming, again, not to use in the film, but just to get them into motion.
I think so.
And you'll see that I end up using a lot of those takes in the film, because instead of them saying it, just the expression of him is so much more powerful than them saying it. So I really enjoy having the voice and then the reaction shot. I think it's I like that style. Let me know in the comments if you think it's effective or not. I'm sure people don't sometimes find it confusing.
Everyone in here has 2 faces. No offense.
There was a lot of dialogue here. So the way we covered the sound is basically
Jerry, the
one
general
boom
manager's
mic.
office?
I had no lavalier mics or anything like that. We really tried to
something
cover
about
the
this one caught
scene,
your eye. Even if
you know,
you
get
like
the
the one
boom
you
as
drove
close
in
as
here
possible.
with. You're looking for
And
something.
again, try to capture whoever's talking,
for
get
my
their good audio, and get the good audio
for
on
the
the return
car.
take. Try to be
Speaks to
conscious
me.
that they're not overlapping the
general
lines,
manager's office?
even though you do want that dynamism.
Playing my song too.
So it's kind of a compromise.
Yeah.
But really
Hannah.
listen to your sound person. If they say that they need another one for sound, you should definitely do it, because a Dogma 95 film works only with good sound. You could really the image could be anything, because it is a Dogma 95 film, but still doesn't allow you to have shitty sound. Not at all, not one bit. So just be very adamant that you're capturing good sound, because it's crucial in anything. This I love. This was one of the actors' suggestion to shoot through the feet, and this is again part of the Dogma 95 film that I find so amazing, is that everybody's involved in the image creation. There's not one person that's in charge of the vision and everybody's just doing it and they don't know why or anything like that. Especially on this set, we really emphasize that every idea is, we want to hear it. Everybody's part of the creation process, and therefore, they're all aware of the story just as much. And it's interesting that maybe there's something that, we didn't think about that the crew might have thought about, and such as the example of the camera through the feet and the money socks.
Do the thing.
This is Jacob Stickles and Joël Giroux. They're really good at riffing together. This was a fun scene to shoot. Very quickly again, the idea to this scene, if you notice in the editing, we do a full 360 around. I really like to mess around with convention. I think the whole 180-degree rules is complete nonsense. If your eyes could follow it, then that's the only thing you should be aware of. I'm not saying that it's not to follow, but it is something that you should just be aware of, and that you're able to break it. Again, here. So I'm always connecting the shots, and they're hinging. So here we have them, and you'll see we'll start to go around when the conversation shifts. So now we're on the left side, and now we're start to go left some more.
Guys with big rods, right? Everything's an excuse to show it off.
See, this is the two camera again, worked really well. We're on the right side, and then we're going to switch here.
Me? I didn't do it that way.
This is a fun scene.
What do you do? Call the cops?
Fuck no. No.
I love how
Cops? You'll be waiting
Steve was
around
just
all
a
day.
genuine asshole. That was his role. How do you be just a genuine asshole? He knows he's an asshole, so he doesn't have to pretend. Therefore, he's superior.
Jerry?
That's his.
You and me?
That's his
You
character.
and I stealing cars.
Is that what you call driving a car that you didn't pay
I
for?
love playing around with the zoom as well. I think it's fun adding that energy to
you
it.
agree
And
that
again, anything goes in a Dogma
Someone
95
who
film,
isn't
as
paying
long as
their
it,
bills has stolen
it's
from us.
true to the scene.
Stolen from my mother.
I love
It's
that
a
cut.
little more
It worked well.
complicated than that.
No. It's actually quite
See, now we
simple.
switch side here.
This is customer 857.
And it's really just to confuse and just show that Steve-O is these two characters, these dualities, this asshole, yet boss, and it's kind of plays on what the theme of the
Fuck no.
the short story is, and it's about that everybody wears masks, and that when you're
do this.
not genuine, you're going to receive not genuine.
my mom you wanted to work up front, right?
So if you're truthful, then you will get truthful,
Wanted to
and
roll with the big
kind of plays with the philosophy here
This is what
that
dogs
Steve-O's philosophy is
just
very
go back to the
twisted in the
garage.
sense that if you wear a mask,
Back to what?
don't.
Changing oil?
He doesn't have to wear a mask, therefore he's an asshole, so he's superior. But really, that's false. He's just going to be attracting some more assholes, and he doesn't realize. See, again, fun shots. You get to do all of these different angles, two cameras. Really, we had this scene in a couple hours. one of the main things that really helped us in getting, this is a 20-minute film that we shot in 2 days, but not 12-hour days, 8-hour days, was really to rehearsals. The weekend before, we had the whole cast there, and we went through every scene, and we really rehearsed and moved them around. Again, thanks to Palladino BMW for giving us the location the weekend before again to rehearse. And it was mostly that when we got on set, when we were filming, we already knew the movement, we already knew the lines that they were going to say, and it was just really being in the creative space and having fun with it. So in terms of time to figure out the movement, we had already done that. So it's really just about capturing the beats and all of that stuff and to fine tune it. This day was so cold. I'm not joking. This day was minus 37 in the morning, and the highest that it went to was minus 31. No word of a lie, all day. Probably the coldest day in January. And, props to the crew and cast. They showed up there at 8 a.m. when the call time was, and we didn't leave until we were finished, and nobody complained. We ate in our cars, we were trying to warm up whenever or not. But again, just that spirit of collaboration and creativity, everybody was in on it and nobody complained. And it's such again, that freeing ability of just working and collaborating together and to create something where everybody's part of it is a great feeling. Here, I love this scene when we reveal here Clayton Drake, fantastic musician, best improviser ever. Just point the camera at Clayton and he will deliver some really amazing lines. He's always on top of it and really dedicated. Also Clayton, shout out to Clayton, he helped me out with the edit as well. Spent the whole day with me fine-tuning this, so thanks again, Clayton. That's my car there, just spinning out of control. It was funny because Jacob, on the day, never drove standard, and the BMW is the standard, so I think we took 2 hours to just learn how to get him to shift out of first gear. Thanks, Jacob. You did well, man. You did well. Although I did do that wide shot where the car's spinning off. I thought I would do it. I love this scene. This is, this was the first image I had in my head when we started writing this story, was these hyenas, I'm calling them, like almost animals just circling the truck. And, he's trapped. Jerry is not going to go anywhere. He's caught. And there's nothing he could say to talk his way out of him, out of this situation, and this is where kind of the stem of the idea comes from, is that, you have to be a pretty good salesman to get out of this situation when somebody finds you in their truck trying to steal it, and you have the keys and you're caught, and all you could do is delay the beating. And you were just wondering how the hell is he going to get out of this, and as I am. And luckily Hannah comes through, and this is another seed of an idea where I had my dad was connected to his Bluetooth on his new car, and he had no idea the phone was going on, or it was connected to the speaker, and he's just like outside, just like Clayton here, and hello, like. Hello? And I found that so funny that he's not aware that the Bluetooth was connected.
Hello? Hi, Hannah.
And this is just good acting here. Now we let the shot live on Jerry here, or Joel is the actor's name, and he just delivers a great performance. Didn't need to cut. You have Clayton in the background, always kind of giving some motion. This is on the 85 mil. Sunset's coming. I really enjoy the colors here. The soft kind of light that's kicking off the snow and just giving a nice even light on his face.
Could you give me 1 second?
And the blurry Clayton.
Please.
Oh.
Look.
And this really had to land. Will Andrews is the scriptwriter. We wrote the story together, but he's really the the architect behind all the dialogue, and I really told Will that this has to land. He has to be able to not only sell a car, but also get out of this situation, and this speech has to be really passionate. And I think Joel did a really good job here. Really convinces that he's an observant salesman and could play the game as well, where everybody else, you know, the manager at the starting and even Steve all told him that he's not a good salesman and kind of lacking in his confidence. And, you know, he's got some game after all. He's able to talk his way out of this anyways.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
For so long anyways, until...
It's also in your color.
You're on. I'm gonna buy the car.
Got really lucky with the light here. You know, even though it's super cold, minus 32, but yet it was clear skies and full sun all day, which would be scary. Yet it was just gave a really nice orange light, as you can see here. It's just beautiful.
Stop it!
And this is about at 4:30 p.m. on January, so already a sunset. But look at that light; it's just so gorgeous. You know, that's the thing about lighting. Is really you just got to know where to place the camera. You know, natural light is so beautiful. Just try not to be front lit. You know, sunsets and sunrise are always beautiful times to shoot. So really work with the light that you have. Don't be scared of shooting naturally, because you could have these really happy accidents, and it will look better than anything that you would have tried to do because it's organic. It's kind of my philosophy. Anytime I try to light anyways, I try to mimic the natural world as much as possible. You know, it's always so alive and moving, even though we don't really perceive it, but really has a lot of saturation as well, the sun. It's crazy. I love the light. Again, this is a Clayton line, just drops that improvisation.
Out to work?
Back to my car, anyway. I don't know if I want to work there anymore.
Oh?
And here we learn that Hannah, you know, is interested in buying the car, and also that because he was right, she's a realtor, and he's observant as a salesman, so he got the sale through his honesty, and she appreciated that. She saw that.
Safety first.
Oh, right.
Seatbelt.
Safety first.
Safety first.
And there you go, Hannah Keys. So she's also a salesman. Saw his bullshit, but then he, Uber salesman, showed her that through honesty and being genuine is a way to get the sale. So I hope you enjoyed the breakdown of our recent Dogma 95 film, Driver's Seat. If you have any question, feel free to leave some in the comment below, and maybe I'll do another episode if there's enough questions. All right, have a good one.